Welcome back, guys. Today's video is inspired by Jacqueline and all of the many hundreds of comments on the recent YouTube videos. Absolutely amazing. And a special shout out to Jacob. Now, if you want to be featured in a future video, comment below.
Do it! Make your dreams come true!
In today's video, we're checking out Regain Island, that is Ashika Island. We'll be looking at the buy station, the items you can buy there, and some of my favourite locations to loot. I'll also be showcasing a little bit of PvP, because Ashika Island is notoriously sweaty, and a couple of extraction methods that you can use. So hopefully you find something useful in this video. It is by no means an exhaustive list, so I'm really keen to see your insight. I'm really keen to see your favorite loot location in the comments below, so get chatting away. Honestly, it's an amazing way to learn the game and share your experience and build a bit of community that's here just to support and help each other. Really appreciate the engagement, guys. Absolutely amazing to see, and let's keep it going. So first up, I'm going to be hitting up a buy station, and I'm going to pin below in the description a useful kind of cheat sheet that I often have saved on my mobile phone between games. So when I come across items in game, I know what's useful, what I will want to pick up to use in the barter system. So heading over to the buy station here. On Ashika Island, you'll be able to get a skeleton key with those items there. Trade a gold bar and thumb drives for a GPU. And also, most importantly, I believe, is the tempered vest. So this only needs 2 plates, but it still acts as a 3-plate vest. This is an amazing item that I will probably be running a lot more in future videos. Now, you will need a secure backpack to make the most of the GPUs that you can craft on Ashika Island, and then transfer them to Al Mazrah to exchange for those skeleton keys. Unfortunately, in this gameplay, I don't find a gold skull, so let me know down in the comments where you often find it. I will be showing you how you can solo the Bombmaker quite easily as well, but he often drops a comms vest. So there we go, our first victims. Obviously didn't have plates. And a cheeky throwing knife for his friend there. So when it comes to PvP, I often assume everyone is running in a trio, so be careful. Once you've downed 2 players, there is likely to be a third. Now, I don't have a stronghold key card here. I will be opening some lock spaces with a skeleton key, but I will recommend a couple of the strongholds that I often go to get those 3-plate vests. Here you can see there are some orange chests available outside of strongholds, so I recommend checking this area of the map near the beach club. The beach club is often where I head to first, because you've got the city hall, and the beach club stronghold often has those 3-plate vests in it. This market area is also incredibly good for documents, sensitive documents, classified documents, all the items that you'll need for the tempered plate vest. So I highly recommend checking this out. I'm also on the hunt for those thumb drives. You'll have seen I spawned into the game with the gold bars and a couple of thumb drives already. So I was looting those in Al Mazrah, and then hoping to bring them over to Ashika Island, but unfortunately I got killed when extracting, so I lost my secure backpack, but I kept the items that I needed. So I'm currently running a 2-plate vest and a small backpack, which is not ideal. Now, you will find a bit of AI around the kind of marketplace here, which is next to the city hall and next to the beach club. And this area is really useful because you have dead drop, lots of items, lock spaces with high tier loot in as well. So I highly recommend checking this location out. There you can see me picking up the classified documents that I need for the temper plate vest, and we'll head over to the buy station now. On your way over, the gas station there often has electric drills and the gas cans, but again, I haven't come across a gold skull in this game. I believe they often drop in when you shoot down the commander helo, so you will be able to take control of SAM sites and give that a go as well. And let me know down in the comments if it's worth holding on to those blue items. I believe another new thing in the barter system for Ashika Island is a goldfish, but I have no idea what it's useful for, so let me know down in those comments. Here we are at the city hall. I recommend entering from the ground level. This is absolutely full of kind of tier 2 AI with lots of armor, and I will be showcasing my new best friend in DMZ, a secondary weapon that absolutely destroys higher tiered AI. This location in particular has so much useful loot. We've got a self-revive pistol there. You'll find encrypted hard drives. There's potential, I imagine, for GPUs as well. But I'm currently running a mission where I need to get the governor's laptop. And this is the section that you'll find it, just on the side right there. The governor's laptop. And then you literally just need to run across the road and drop it into the dead drop just behind the gas station there. So make sure you're checking all of the sides, all of the shelves, all of the computers as well. I often prioritize picking up thumb drives, gold bars to make those GPUs, encrypted hard drives, classified documents, anything that's gold, really, high tier loot. But normal hard drives are really good because they stack in your inventory and they're very quick to sell for a lot of cash. Now, because there is so much AI here, you will need to make the most of the cover that's available to you. So you can see me hiding behind the door there. And when you go up into the city hall, there is even more chests, even more loot to open. So it's a fantastic location on Ashika Island. Heading back to the buy station, this white dumpster there is our dead drop. And I believe putting a heartbeat sensor into the dead drops has been patched. That used to give you a lot of time off of your insured weapon cooldown. But you can still drop in self-revives. I believe 3 self-revives will give you your primary weapon back. And you'll find plenty of them in that City Hall location. Now the building next to it as well is interesting. There is a locked fridge, which you'll see coming up. So it's one of the lock spaces or lock cases that you can loot. I recommend opening this if you're looking for some absolutely decked out weapons, as you'll see here. So there we have 3 maxed out weapons that may be useful to you. I do recommend shotguns. They're very powerful against armored AI in this game. And then if you head up the zip line, you'll see Lost Room 403. I would not recommend opening that. The loot in there is trash. But this area, in this hotel room, there's often a safe in that corner to the side there. So I do normally use that to generate enough cash to get a personal exfil on Ashika Island. Here we are calling in a public exfil. You see another self-res just lying around on the table there. So loads of useful items here. I haven't even picked up that encrypted hard drive, but highly recommend checking out this building. Make sure you're being careful when you're clearing out this building. There are tripwires on the escalators, so don't blindly run up them like I do. Make sure you're being careful and observant. And you do see I have a GPU in my backpack there, but I don't have a secure backpack. So unfortunately, I am going to lose this GPU, which is tragic, absolutely devastating. But we are out of there. The other really good thing about running solo is your cooldown on the countdown to exfil is so much quicker. You don't have to wait for the rest of your team to jump on. So give it a go. I really recommend playing DMZ solo. It's a lot of fun. Now the next location we're going to check out is this little submerged part of the pier, I guess we call it. So underwater is where you'll find a Shadow Company USB, and that's often needed for a particular mission. Can't tell you off the top of my head. Someone in the comments below will let you know. But there you can find that Shadow Company USB. Make sure you're not spending too much time underwater. You could also use a rebreather to stay down there for as long as possible. But I will be showcasing the rebreather in another video and why it's important. But from this area, if you hug the shoreline and move along the beach, you'll come across this ship. So I have not looted this ship ever. So this is the first time I'm checking out this. There is a stronghold here, so I know there should be some decent loot. And straight away I hear a lot of footsteps. So it is teeming with AI. But they're all kind of tier 1. It's quite manageable to do, even with a 1-plate vest. So make sure you're checking out these lockers. You'll often find backpacks, lots of cash, sometimes that soothing hand cream that you need for additional items in the barter system. And heading up to the second level here, you will find a couple of orange crates that you won't need keys to open. Plenty of decent loot in this area. You will have a couple of shield boys to contend with. So remember the 5 Ds.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
And there you can see that often the AI will be dropping Takishi Castle keys. I haven't really come across the Takishi Castle weapon case locker keys that much, but I often find the hideout keys. And this is why I use a munitions box, just to get my tacticals back, to get rid of these shield boys. And there you go, a couple of orange chests that you won't need any keys to access. Bomb drone there. And just more cash. So, check out this area, let me know what kind of loot you find here. Oh, an encrypted hard drive. And another hideout key. Perfect, this is a great way to stack up on those keys. Now this location isn't only where the orange chests will spawn. If you work your way along the boat, you'll find a number of others. And the AI is definitely manageable here. So there's another orange crate. I will take that Vel as a secondary, as I'm getting pumped in the back.
What did he say?
Weapons cases, satchels, another orange case, another self-revive. And we also have a SAM site here as well. So this would be a good one, an easy one to shoot down that commander helo. And I believe the crates that helicopter drops does have a high potential of spawning that gold skull that you would need for a secure backpack. Working my way to the end of the ship here. I've already looted this. Night vision goggles as well. So let's move on. The next location I'm going to be checking out is the tunnels and the underground waterway. So you'll have seen me recommend this on the previous GPU farm video. But I wanted to give you a little hint about if you're struggling with the AI down here. You can slowly work your way through picking them off from this entrance. This is my preferred entrance into the waterways. There's ammo dumps here so that you can stock back up on your tacticals as well. These guys will often drop stronghold keycards. And there's a huge cluster of strongholds around this area. So, and this is why Ashika Island is known as Regain Island. It is so much quicker, so much easier to grab that 3-plate vest off rip. Just slowly working through, taking out the AI on my way. And aiming for this boat with the turret. And this is the best way that you can manage the juggernauts that are down here. So jump onto one of the turret guns and start blasting. Now, it's not always going to be effective if you've got AI shooting you in the back. So if you are taking damage, make sure to jump off of the turret and replate. And you can use this back gun here to take out any AI that might be shooting you in the back. But you will see I've got the Juggernaut focusing on me here, and I'm not taking too much damage. The great thing about this gun is it will stagger him as well, and you should use that stagger time to make sure you don't overheat the gun. So unlike me, tap the gun every now and then rather than hold the trigger down. But as easy as that, you'll take out the 2 Juggernauts, no problem. And it's a shame, I'm not sure if they're meant to drop gold skulls. But let me know down in the comments if you have found gold skulls from these guys. I haven't from my testing so far. See you later, Jugs. Just going to clear up the remaining AI. You can zoom in with this gun as well. And obviously it makes a lot of noise, so it will attract attention. But I'm very conscious I've used my self-res now, so I'll need to head back to grab that one I dropped. There we go. One of the best ways to effectively clear out the AI in this area. So heading back, I'm going to grab that self-res and then show you the next amazing loot location in Ashika Island. So while you're working your way down these waterways, stick to the right hand side, and you will come across the dead drop, the waterways dead drop, that you'll need to put a couple of items in for some missions. There is the dead drop there. Always check out these shelves for anything useful. And always check out these lockers here for plenty of cash and other useful items. And in the corner of this container, you will find the Ashika Island intel as well. Now, jumping into the water, head over to where these ropes attached to the side there, and you will find the entrance into the bunker. Just need to defuse this trap here, and then you'll be able to swim through. There is a second trap, which you can swim under, or you can just swim through like I have there. Then you're going to want to make your way onto shore and do a bit of parkour.
Parkour!
To make your way into this next loot location.
Parkour! Parkour!
Now, I've noticed a new chest here, which is locked. I'm not sure if it can be opened with a skeleton key. So let me know down in the comments if it's part of a mission potentially, or if you need a specific key to open this. But inside here, you will find loads of orange chests, weapon cases on the wall. Make sure you're checking all of these little loot locations and the shelves as well. So I highly recommend it. As you'll see here, cluster bombs, kill streaks will be in these chests. And those 3-plate vests. So make sure you're checking what type of 3-plate vest it is. Sometimes there will be stealth vests or comms vests that may spawn in there as well. But in this run, I only find the normal 3-plate vest. So as soon as you move into this corridor, the doors will open, allowing you to get out of the bunker, and you won't need to swim back out. And then we're going to take this zip line up, as you've seen in previous videos, to access Takishi's Castle. Now this is by far the best way to do the Bombmaker solo, which I'm going to show you now. Here we have a big backpack and a gold bar on the side there. So I highly recommend checking out this location. And you just need the hideout key to get in, which you will often find in-game from killing the AI. Make sure to defuse the traps here, and you'll know over in that location is where the weapon case lockers are. Unfortunately, I don't have a skeleton key. I don't have the weapons case key, so I can't open those to check out the loot in there. But if you do have those, definitely, when you're playing Ashika Island looking for loot, make sure you check out those weapon case lockers. There's obviously a lot of AI in this area, but it is manageable. Oh, a nice UAV, which is super helpful. And I'll take that mortar streak and not forget my bomb drone as well. Now the AI in this area are slightly tougher, but it is manageable for a solo player, as you'll see. Making use of the UAVs that the AI drop as well, just to keep an eye on if there's any players in the vicinity. Here I come across more self-revives than you can ever use. Sure, there are some players that would need 3 self-revives. But again, they're a very good way of getting the timers down on your insured weapons. So chuck those into dead drop locations. Now using this staircase, we're going to make our way up to the Bombmaker. Passing through this room here, checking out all the shelves, all the potential loot locations, see if there's anything interesting. We have a shieldy boy here, so I just need to stun him. Remember those 5 Ds.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Now be careful, this place is littered with claymores and betties. Oh, another gold bar. So now I would just need to find 5 thumb drives to craft a GPU. Even more orange cases. Kill streaks galore. Highly recommend checking out Takishi's Castle. Especially going from the waterways, you don't even need to worry about destroying Wilson and hacking him. It's a far more manageable way of soloing the Bombmaker as well. So now be careful, outside of this entrance there is a claymore on the right and there is a sentry gun. But I'm going to use a stun grenade here to disable the claymore. Make my way behind the sentry gun and then you can just melee it. As soon as it says it's scrapped, that means it's destroyed. You don't need to keep hitting it like I am there. And then this staircase, there is a trap there. So make sure not to defuse it yet until you've got rid of the AI. I always wonder if the AI can trigger the traps there when they slide down the stairs. But you'll be able to, you know, keep jabbing away at his arm, staggering him, and play chicken with him, really, because he doesn't continue chasing you down the stairs. As soon as you move down the stairs a bit, he goes back up the stairs. And eventually you'll get rid of him quite easily. So here I recommend shooting out the trophy system. Just there. And then you'll be able to stun the AI here and quite easily take them out. Disable any claymores in there as well. Taking out the AI. And it's just the Bombmaker left. Just round that corner. And he is very easy to kill. So there you go. Now he doesn't drop a gold skull for me, I'm afraid. But he does more reliably drop the comms vest, which you'll see me definitely picking up. And I often prioritize picking up M4s that are silenced in game as well. He also drops crossbow, but there is that comms vest. So make sure you're using that. It's a very useful vest to give you more visibility and intel of players around you. So it can get annoying. It will shout at you every so often when there is an enemy team near you, but it gives you that advanced warning if you don't have a UAV. So I highly recommend running the comms vest plate. Just cleaning out some of the remaining AI here as they push towards me. With the throwing knife. And again, stacking up on my hideout keys. Putting a fresh one in my inventory there. So it's definitely manageable to do this solo. So check it out, guys. And we move on to, well, forgetting about the claymore there. We move on to our next loot location. I'm conscious my comms vest is screaming at me that there is an enemy team near me. And straight away I think, well, if it is me, they'd be coming up from the underground location, the Waterways location. But we're good to go. So my next recommendation is this stronghold building here. It's amazing for loot. There's 3 levels of loot that you can find and a couple of riot shield boys. So when you're entering, you'll find AI down below, AI on the catwalk there, and obviously a nice riot shield boy welcoming you. So make the most of cover. Obviously, don't try and tank his shots, but if you just weave around him, you'll be able to get around the back of him, no problem. Picking up those self-revives. I'd recommend picking up documents, sensitive documents, and classified documents for that tempered plate vest as well. You can make use of the windows there to check if there are any players pushing this stronghold as well. And then I always recommend closing the doors on any buildings that you're looting, just to make it less obvious that someone has been there or is currently in there. Heading up to this level here is where you will find some additional documents that you need, the crown intel for another mission, but plenty of orange crates here, and even a sentry gun, which I'm going to deploy to cover my back here, because this is a highly contested building. It's one of the most popular strongholds to do. Lots of orange crates, lots of access to 3 plate vests, and high tier loot here. And people can access from the roof, or from underground, or from the mid-level, which is where I entered. Making use of the UAV there to check if there are any players very close to me, but I am near an exfil in this game, so it's most likely players head into that exfil. Now, another one of my tips is to play cautiously. If you haven't got a good headset, I'd highly recommend investing in one. There's plenty of good options out there. This isn't a sponsored video, so I'm not going to ram something down your throat. Loading up on plates there. And this is where I start to get suspicious. There's definitely someone pushing this location. As I get hit by a grenade from an AI. Thank you. So I'm going to work my way now down to the lower levels where there's even more loot to check out. As AI keeps streaming into this building. DMZ is a great way to level your weapons as well. Here we go, making use of cover. And that area below is where I'm going next. There you'll see at least another 2 orange crates. More 3-plate vests. More of the normal supply crates as well. But I highly, highly recommend this stronghold. It's one of my favourite locations for good loot early in the game. So head down here, you'll notice AI turn around. So this is where I get very suspicious, and there must be other players pushing from that direction. But into this room and you'll find the remaining orange crates in this area. So I'm going to make sure I loot everything here before another team pushes me. And I'm also going to use this cluster bomb to cover my back. Checking the size, checking the supply crates, another orange crate with another 3-plate vest. Very good location, especially if you're running as a 3-man team. Checking this door here to make sure it's not been open, and it hasn't, so I know my back's safe for now. Even more call outs from my comm vest, so I know there are players in and around this area. And this is where I see my cluster mine getting destroyed. So I know there's the potential of a team pushing here, and I see the sniper glint.
Hello there.
So I switch to my sniper rifle to try and contest this. But he doesn't re-peek. He may see my laser there. So another one of my tips is to aim your laser just to the side at a wall, so that the enemy players can't see the laser down sight. Now we get people in the prox chat. So now it's spicing up. I know there are people that are going to be pushing this building. So whenever there are people around, I always push for the high ground. I'm going to make the most of this catwalk. Not much visibility out of those windows there. And I'm also conscious and keeping an eye on the roof, because there is a ladder where players could push. And I could get pincered quite easily here as a solo player. Keeping an eye on this doorway, as it's the only obvious location where a player may have entered. And using this catwalk to keep an eye on that underground tunnel there. And this is where I do see movement, managed to break him, follow up with a stun grenade. But that guy is out of there. He's clearly backed right off. I'm going to hardscope that corner, and here is where you see me aiming at the wall, so that my laser isn't visible to the enemy, and he can't be sure if I'm hardscoping this. As AI continue to push in the mid-level there, I then see the enemy player move in. The flinch means I missed my shot, so I back off here, replay, and he somehow manages to close the distance to me, and I continue firing at that wall there just to stop him from pushing up. But you got to know when to bounce, so we are out of there. Gonna check out this building as well. So I recommend this building for your self-revives. There's a lot of medicine cases on the wall, but there's also a lot of computers, maybe the potential for GPUs. Let me know down in the comments if you recommend this building. Any recommendations for the best loot that you found on Ashika Island? I'm keen to hear it in the comments below. I have to say, I often only play Ashika Island just to regain, just to get my 3-plate vest back as quickly. I'm a big fan of Al Mazrah, and I'll be maining Al Mazrah, to be honest, now that we have the new tunnel, Koshi tunnels as well. Here you see me closing doors to cover my tracks where possible. It also allows me an audio cue if anyone pushes into that building. And now I can see I'm on an enemy's UAV tower, so I make my way out. And we're going to check out another location. So these rooms here are a really effective way of getting down into the waterways as well. But I have 40,000 now, so I'm close to a personal exfil. I'm going to sell these gold bars because I don't have a secure backpack. There's no point holding on to them. I'm going to generate the cash that I can to get that personal exfil. which happens to just be around the corner of this gas station. So Ashika Island can be extremely sweaty, and if you have a lot of cash on you, make the most of the new personal exfils. Checking those medicine cabinets for those self-revives. If I needed to reduce the cooldown timers on my insured weapons, that's a great way of doing it. And now I'm getting hunted by another team, so I need to extract. So heading over to this personal exfil and calling that in. And then I'm going to make my way into this City Hall building. And basically use this as cover while I wait for the exfil chopper. So again, I'm going to work my way up to the high ground. Even more self-revives here. Honestly, one of the best locations for loot. Watch out for those traps on the stairs there. To jump over those. And now I see they'll be in a car on my mini-map there. I'm going to head over to this staircase to get onto the roof of City Hall and see if they can test. But they're carrying on driving, so they're making their way around onto the cliffs, onto the rocks there. So make sure you've got cover if you're going to get into a fight. My chopper's here now. So I'm going to jump in. Be careful of those blades because they will down you now. And we are out of there. Also using the mortar streak just to cover my tracks and stop them from potentially pushing the plane. But we are out of there. The mortar streaks can hit you while you're in the chopper as well, so be careful. And this is another example of how I often extract. So I can see players pushing here. There's a team pushing for that extract. I down one of them. Just so they're distracted and their teammate needs to go for that revive. There's also a team up on that building where the public exfil is. So I'm going to use my airstreak there. My airstrike. Managed to get the down, but I don't get the clean, which is a shame. But that team manages to extract. I let them get away, so I know it's clear enough for me to head over. Still running the comms vest as well, so I will get a call out if there are enemies around here. And I'm going to use this zip line to get to the roof and call in this public exfil. Now there's two ways of getting to this roof. So you can camp near the zip line, but there's also a staircase just over there. I'm going to camp this zip line now. And this unfortunate man. I'm sorry, buddy.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. Feels bad, but you got to do what you got to do when you're a solo player. This guy sounds like he's had the worst day. I'm going to take your Victus, though. Sorry, my guy. See if you've got anything interesting. Yeah, I'll take the airstrike. And I'm going to use this to cover my exfil. Just making sure I lay prone. I want to be the smallest target possible. I know there are still other players in the map. And I'm going to use this airstrike to cover my tracks. So if anyone does push up that zip line, hopefully the airstrike will stop them. But it can also down you in the exfil choppers. Now don't worry, if you get downed in an exfil chopper, you can still exfil, even if you don't have a self-res, so it's not the end of the world. But if you've enjoyed this video, guys, please do share it with your friends, get commenting below what's your favourite loot location in Ashika Island, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.